This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Monday, June 15th, right now on Good Morning Indiana.
And I think that we have a tremendous opportunity right now to start to make those necessary changes. But there's not a dimmer switch or a light switch that we can turn on or off to suddenly make this all go away. That's just not possible.
Only on Good Morning Indiana, the state's top cop confronts the new pressures on police, including calls to divert dollars from policing.
Hoosier families continue to recover from the coronavirus pandemic. Now a new number of them are struggling to put food on the table.
There were people who were struggling to put food on the table before COVID arrived.
This morning, how you can help feed families in your communities.
And the coronavirus pandemic has canceled many youth leagues. Now, after the squash season, parents are asking, where's my money? Working for you, we're breaking down why it's so hard for leagues to issue refunds.
It is 6 o'clock here on your Monday morning. Thanks for starting your week with us.
That's right. We want to welcome back Rafael Sanchez. A long weekend there. Rafael, it's good to see you down in our Johnson County studio.
I missed you over the last couple of days, but I needed a rest. But as I look outside my living room window, the sun is rising. A beautiful day in the making. And our Alyssa Donovan has a great forecast. Right, Alyssa?
Oh, yes. It's going to be a gorgeous day. We have lucked out with this forecast. Really a continuation of what we saw this weekend with those temperatures. And right now you can see our sun is rising over our downtown Northview camera. And we are going to continue to see those clear and sunny skies as we head through the day. Temperatures starting a little chilly this morning, so you might want a light jacket, but you can definitely ditch it this afternoon. 52 in Indianapolis right now, 50 in Bloomington and Kokomo. So we're about 10 degrees cooler than we typically start this time of year. And that's partially due to those clear skies we had overnight. We didn't have anything to insulate us from some cool northeasterly air that was filtering in. Sunshine is going to prevail throughout most of our day, but just off to our east, we do have a small disturbance that's going to make its way in later this afternoon. That's really only going to impact us by bringing us a small amount of cloud coverage, mainly over eastern portions of the state, maybe an isolated stray shower for extreme eastern counties, but most of us are going to stay dry and just a small chance of a little bit more cloud coverage later this afternoon. Today, we're starting with those temperatures in the 50s, and then we'll climb into the upper 70s. Looking at the rest of the week, we are in store for a beautiful week. Temperatures warming into the mid 80s by Wednesday and Thursday, and then we are into the 90s by the weekend.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look right now at your roads as you're heading out there. This is I-65 south of downtown. This is a view near Keystone Avenue where we have that ongoing work at the bridge there over Keystone Avenue on 65. So we have the major lane shifting here happening in the northbound side. Southbound lanes restricted, but the exit ramps and entrance ramps remain open. So as you're merging, use caution. Also watch for workers. This is an active construction zone. Rafael?
Lauren, thank you so much. The time now is 6:03 here on Good Morning Indiana. The daily protests, they're seeking to pressure police departments around the country and in our state to ask police departments to review their policies, especially use of force policies. Those protests have drawn thousands of Hoosiers statewide from cities as well as suburbs. The people involved have been a cross-section of ethnicities and ages. We had a chance to Zoom with the State Police Superintendent Doug Carter. This morning, here's a small part of our discussion.
There are calls for things like the end of chokeholds and other practices that may lead to the escalation of violence between law enforcement and the person with whom they're interacting with. Do you foresee that, sir? Are there policy things that you will tell the governor or that you are already taking into consideration or reviewing as you take a look at this discussion that's happening not only in Indiana, but across the country?
Absolutely, yes. We do not teach the bilateral neck restraint. We show the bilateral neck restraint. And we do that so that if an officer finds himself or herself in that position, they understand what's about to happen. Bad things are going to happen if you cut off the blood flow to the human brain, or if you focus on the front of the throat with a chokehold. We don't teach those. We do not teach those, and that the notion of that generally speaking, law enforcement is not trained, or that we're taught the chokehold or the bilateral neck restraint in Indiana, that's just simply not accurate, because we don't. Now, the only time that would be an appropriate tactic is in a deadly force encounter. Remember, decisions that have to be made in a split second oftentimes are criticized for months and years afterwards. So if a person's in a deadly force encounter, there's not much you can't do to survive that encounter if you're protecting yourself or someone else.
In our next half hour, Superintendent Carter addresses head-on the calls for diverting dollars from police agencies across the state and the country.
When you hear the term Black Lives Matter, what does that mean to you?
They're right. They do matter.
My entire conversation with the state's top cop will be posted online, including what he recently learned from troopers at a meeting that he had with them and what he believes every police chief, town marshal, and county sheriff should be doing right now.
Here at 6:05, new this morning, one person is in the hospital following a shooting on the city's northeast side. Officers were called to a shots fired call in the 8000 block of East 35th Street, East 35th Place, just after midnight. That's just south of 38th and Franklin Road. IMPD tells us officers found bullet holes in a home, and inside they found a victim with a gunshot wound to the back. At this hour, the victim is listed in serious condition.
Well, the dice is rolling. The slot handles are being pulled again at Indiana casinos here. Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson and Indiana Grand Racing and Casino in Shelbyville officially resumed gaming at the top of the hour. Both will operate at reduced capacity with slot machines arranged for social distancing. Table games will be non-smoking with limited seating, and you'll be required to wear a mask. Live horse racing will begin today at Indiana Grand and Hoosier Park tomorrow. Both racing programs will be held without spectators until further notice.
We are working together. RTV6 is teaming up with Kroger and Second Helpings beginning today to raise money to help feed Indiana families. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning from one of the many locations that will be part of this great effort. Kelsey, good morning, and please fill us in.
Hey, good morning. So we're here in the kitchen at Second Helpings, and these people they feed Hoosiers all of the time, but over 200,000 meals were served just last month. And I'm here this morning with CEO Jennifer. And so tell me, 200,000, that's not your normal month here at Second Helpings.
Not even close. Usually we might maybe produce 89,000 meals in a month. But since COVID and the unemployment and other issues that have come along with COVID, we've been producing more meals than ever before.
And COVID's not only impacting other families, but it's impacting you guys here because you have all these meals to make now, but you have to be socially distanced in every area of here.
It's a huge challenge because usually we'll have maybe 20 or so volunteers in this kitchen at any given time. Now we have to make sure everybody's 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
And you can even see we've got these little foot marks around the building to help make sure where people need to stand to make sure people are properly spaced. That really creates a whole new set of challenges, and we've had to convert other spaces around the building into areas where we can prepare food to make sure that we can get all of those meals out the door.
Wow. And of course, they run on donations, and that's what we're partnering with Second Helpings and Kroger. What you can do is when you're checking out at Kroger, you can just round up your total order or do a donation of your own amount, or you can also just go to secondhelpings.org and make a donation there. But for more information, head over to the IndyChannel.com/feedinghoosiers. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time right now is 6:08, and as Hoosiers continue to struggle to find adequate access to food, local nonprofits are getting help to provide those resources. The Shepherd Community Center is a ministry on the Near East Side working to help families break the cycle of poverty. Their focus before the pandemic was heavily on development, but now it's transitioning to providing families with food and financial help for their bills. TCC gives a corporate giving initiative focused on strengthening communities across the country. They awarded 5 organizations in Indianapolis $2,000. We talked to one of the leaders at the Shepherd Community Center about what that money will be used for.
Probably the biggest one is food for us. That's outside of some of the family stabilization dollars that we've been connecting with families with. Food is our next biggest category. We've really done a lot from daily meals to breakfast, lunch, every day to big food distributions, usually multiple times a week. And so we're planning to use the dollars in that way.
During the pandemic, Shepherd Community Center is also helping students with e-learning, holding virtual job fairs, and providing medical assistance.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's commitment to connecting you with job opportunities and resources. Throughout the pandemic, it's an initiative that's especially important with businesses closing, resulting in Hoosiers out of work. Now Courier is a logistics company that provides delivery options for companies, primarily in the healthcare, e-commerce, and financial industries. Right now, during the pandemic, they are busy transporting both COVID-19 tests and COVID-19 antibody tests to and from more than 60 Indiana labs and healthcare facilities.
We need drivers as bad today as we did 3 months ago, and probably even worse than we'll need them here in the next couple months. So absolutely, we're looking for independent contract drivers who drive their own vehicle, run their own business. Unemployment with where it is, I'd love to see some of those people who have not been able to make money for their family come drive for us.
During the pandemic, Now Courier has seen a nearly 25% increase in healthcare-related deliveries due to COVID-19. They provide drivers with the supplies required for a safe and timely transport.
The coronavirus pandemic has left many families struggling to pay their bills. New at 6:15, our Mark Mullins connects you to a group helping families get on a solid financial footing. But first, let's check your forecast with Alyssa Donovan. Good morning, Alyssa.
Good morning, Raphael. It's going to be a gorgeous day, sunny and pleasant conditions, starting with sunshine, a little more cloud coverage this afternoon. Highs in the upper 70s will continue climbing into the upper 80s by Wednesday, 90s towards the weekend. All of those details coming up next. Welcome back. Here's a live look right now at traffic. This is I-465 and I-70, and look at the sunny skies there from our camera. You can see traffic here on the east side is moving along up to speed as people are heading to work this morning. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any crashes or delays to slow you down. RTV6 launched the Rebound Indiana as a commitment to connect you to resources out there to help you recover from the economic impact of the pandemic. RTV6's Mark Mullins sat down with a financial planner who is part of a nationwide effort to get households back on solid financial standing, and the service is completely free.
We posed a series of questions to certified financial planner Ed Wildermuth, who is part of a nationwide program offering free financial planning assistance to those hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic and its economic ripple effects. First, who is eligible?
So the program is through the Financial Planning Association, and it's something that's been around for a long time to help those who are low-income families, those maybe in the military, or someone going through a medical event such as cancer.
How will the Financial Planning Association's program help struggling families in Indiana?
Sometimes it's finding opportunities or programs that are out there that they may not be aware of, whether government assistance, and some of the programs that have been passed at either the state or the federal level.
What's the best way to find a financial planner who would help under the FPA's program?
Email and phone is probably going to be, the easiest way to communicate. And if they want to know more information and look for someone who may be in their area, or maybe someone, a friend or family member that's in another state, going to the FPA website and looking for COVID-19 pro bono planning, they'll be able to find a list of all the advisors that have said, hey, we're willing to help out, and find the right person that can help them.
We've provided a link to the FPA program under this story. Just head to theindychannel.com/rebound to be connected with the resources available. Throughout the week, you'll hear more from Ed and the other ways his pro bono program can help your household. Here at 6:16, Alyssa Donovan is standing by. A beautiful day ahead of us, Alyssa.
Yeah, we're going to see some gorgeous weather today and throughout most of the week. That pleasant weather that we had over the weekend is really just going to extend into today. Our temperature is going to be a little bit below average to start and to end, with our highs only into the upper 70s. But the good news is we'll see low humidity and plenty of sunshine. As we head through the rest of the week, we'll see a bit of a warming trend, those temperatures climbing into the mid 80s, and then we will reach the low 90s by the weekend. That's when we also have some possibility of some storms. Looks like they will be late Saturday afternoon and evening, overnight and into our Sunday. That's also going to be the official start of summer. So it's going to feel like summer with some afternoon storms and those temperatures well above average. This morning, though, starting a little cool. Temperatures in the 50s with sunny skies and clear conditions. So it's going to be a great morning to come and to get up and watch that sunrise as it comes up. We're going to see plenty of sunshine throughout our first half of the day. Temperatures into the upper 60s by the noon hour, low 70s by the early afternoon. High pressure is in control right now, so that's why we are seeing those clear skies. We have a northeasterly wind that's helped usher in that cooler air that we're starting our day with. And then you can see just off to our east, we do have this low pressure upper level disturbance that's going to start to track into our area later today. What that's going to do is have a small impact. So sunshine to start, sunshine through midday, and then we will start to see a little bit more cloud coverage by the afternoon, especially over the eastern half of our viewing area. And then we also have the potential of maybe just an isolated stray shower for extreme eastern counties later this afternoon. Most of us are going to stay dry. Can't rule out a small shower. If you see it at your house, it's going to be very brief and light, but that will mostly be over eastern portions of the state, if even that. Most of us, though, will see dry conditions throughout our day with just a little bit of cloud coverage this afternoon. Looking ahead to the rest of the week, we have this mild air that's been in control the past couple days. That's going to start moving out. We're going to see some warmer air move in, and that's going to continue to warm us into the upper 80s by Thursday. By Friday, we are into the 90s. Today, starting with those temperatures in the 50s, a mild start. Will be into the 70s by the noon hour, upper 70s this afternoon with some cloud coverage moving in as well. 85 tomorrow. Sunshine sticks around for most of the week. Friday, sunny and hot, 92 for the high. Humidity rolls back in Saturday and Sunday, bringing us the potential of storms in the forecast.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Pretty quiet on the road still this morning. Here's a live look over on the east side. I-70 of you here near Sherman Drive, where traffic's moving along smoothly, both eastbound and westbound. No crashes, no delays around central Indiana at this early hour to slow you down.
At 6:19, we are on the road to Democracy 2020. And later this week, Indiana Democrats will announce their pick to run for state attorney general in November. Here are the details. We have two candidates for the Democrats. Longtime State Senator Karen Talion and former Evansville Mayor Jonathan Weinzappel are vying for the party nomination. The selection will be made by state delegates rather than the primary election voters. Convention delegates received their mailed ballots in May, and they were required to turn them in by Friday. The Democratic nominee will be announced Thursday. That's the same day Republicans will consider their nominee at their state party convention.
With most regular cinemas closed, drive-in movies are roaring back to life. If it's been a while since you've attended, you might want to do a little planning to make sure your family can maintain social distancing. You'll want to avoid crowded areas as much as possible, so bring your own snacks and try to limit bathroom breaks. Some health experts say it's safest to watch from inside the car, but sitting in the hatch area with the trunk open is fine too. And you might want to bring some activities for the kids for before the show starts to help keep them close by.
In the days and weeks after lockdown started, it became somewhat of a running joke to see if a lot of couples would break up. Well, some researchers wanted to see if that's actually the case. So they polled 2,300 adults who were living with their partner when the pandemic hit. About 25% of the people say that they started arguing more, but another 25% said that they were arguing less. So just depends who you ask, Raphael.
It surely does. Thank you, Lauren, for that. This summer, a number of communities' baseballs will not be hit and soccer goals will not be scored. This morning, why the decision to cancel youth sports leagues is costing some parents hundreds of dollars. A big good morning to Claremont, Cloverdale, and Cicero on this Monday. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Keller, right now.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:24 here on your Monday, and this is a live look at traffic over on the east side. You can see traffic here is traveling up to speed. Right now we're on the metro area. No crashes to slow you down. Okay, so Meredith, Raphael, it is Monday. It is time to talk about what is trending at 6. So a lot of people have been disappointed, right? That concerts, a number of things they had tickets to have been canceled or pushed back. Well, it's not the case for some fans. A drive-in concert giving some Alabama residents the opportunity to get out and about, have a little fun while still social distancing. Take a look at this video. Country music singer Alan Jackson performed for fans who enjoyed the music right from their cars. It was originally supposed to be a big concert weekend, bringing millions of dollars to the Coleman County area. So organizers there were happy to be able to fill the void with another big show.
I don't know. Those people look awfully close together.
I know.
All right.
Debatable.
Here is a story that is just going to make your heart so warm. Joyce and Don Hoffman, both 90 years old, have been married for 67 years. The couple, who now live at the Hooverwood Senior Living Facility on the north side, have been separated since May 1st when Joyce tested positive for COVID-19. But last week, the staff worked out a surprise for Don, handing him flowers and then turning him around to see his wife. I'm gonna lose it. This is so sweet. The
I'm like, don't look at the video,
Meredith. And finally being reunited.
Oh
my God, that is just so beautiful. I love that.
Stop the newscast right here.
I know. I just want to. These reunions that we've seen of these couples that have been married for decades and decades are just so amazing.
Congratulations to them. And a big shout out this morning to the Indiana Latino Institute. Marlene Dotson and her team are our hometown heroes this morning. The group recently participated in a giveaway of care kits that included a mask, gloves, and hand sanitizer, as well as health information. The group has also sponsored several online forums to help people rebound from the pandemic. Congratulations to them and all their efforts. Now let's check your forecast with the one and only Alyssa Donovan. Hey, Alyssa.
Hey, Raphael. It's going to be a gorgeous day. We're starting a little chilly this morning. Temperatures in the low 50s across the area. That's about 10 degrees cooler than we usually start in June. 52 right now in Indianapolis, 40s up near Peru. So chilly start today. Going to want that light jacket. Don't worry, you can get rid of it as we head into the afternoon. High pressure is in control right now, which is helping us have clear skies to start. We have some northeasterly winds, which is helping cool us down this morning. But as we head into the afternoon, we are going to see that daytime heating with all of that sunshine. So we are going to see those temperatures climb rather quickly. What's going on is that high pressure is in control, and then just off to our east, we have this upper level low that will sneak in later this afternoon, bringing us just a little bit of cloud coverage for our eastern counties, maybe an isolated shower there as well. But most of us are going to stay dry for today. Highs into the upper 70s, and then we'll continue to climb into the upper 80s by Wednesday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Well, spring youth sports are among the thousands of events canceled due to COVID-19. It's tough enough that kids are missing a whole season of things like baseball or soccer. So working for you, John Matarese tells us the worst part may actually be the money that families are losing, so you don't waste your money.
Soccer moms and dads all over the country are growing frustrated. Many of them paid hundreds of dollars for spring soccer seasons that were canceled, but they're finding refunds are turning out to be very elusive. There is no joy in Mudville here at this soccer field. Soccer goals are laying down, the grass a foot tall in spots. Spring season was canceled after parents each paid hundreds of dollars.
The spring soccer league, we paid $595.
Julie Hooper is a mom of a third grader who only got to play one weekend before the season was shut down. But she says when parents called,
we've asked where our money is, and they are keeping all of it, and we get a 10% discount if we sign up for next season.
Julie says she would understand had they at least continued training, but she says there's been no tournaments, no games, no practices, and fields closed, but they still have the parents' money.
I've heard from other teams other clubs that have gotten money back, that they would get money back from the tournaments that were not played.
But many clubs are not giving refunds during the pandemic. News reports show soccer moms nationwide asking where the money has gone. Some teams say they prepaid for tournaments and are having problems getting deposits back. Others say money went to field maintenance and insurance. Julie says she doesn't expect a full refund, but
to pay $595 and get so little, it just seems like we should get something back. We are deserving of that. We're all going through hard times.
Some soccer clubs are applying for federal pandemic assistance and using that money to refund parents, saying they just don't have the cash in the bank right now. So always don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now in Good Morning Indiana on this Monday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. One person is in the hospital following a shooting on the city's northeast side. Officers were called around midnight to East 35th Place, just south of 38th and Franklin Road. Police tells us it appears gunshots were fired into a home there. We're told the victim is in serious condition.
Starting today, COVID-19 testing will be available to all Hoosiers, even if you are not experiencing any symptoms. As long as you live or work in Indiana, you can get tested at one of the hundreds of sites across our state. You can call 888-634-1116 or visit the Indiana State Department of Health's website. You will not be charged for testing, but if you have insurance, you should bring that information with you.
2 school districts say they will be ready to reopen to schools this fall semester. Brownsburg School Superintendent says Hendricks County health officials approved the town's plans to reopen schools, and students will begin the school year on time. That's July 30th with an online option available. Monroe County schools down in Bloomington will begin in-person classes as planned on August 5th. Like Brownsburg schools, they will also provide an online class option. But first, here at 6:30, I want to thank you for joining us on Good Morning Indiana on this Monday morning.
We have some great weather ahead of us for our week. Raphael, I want to know, though, did you get out and enjoy the good weather this weekend?
I did. And listen, I missed you ladies. So I want to first say that. I didn't mention that at 6 a.m. I wanted to sort of warm up a little bit. But you guys, you know, I enjoy working with you. But of course, our very own Alyssa Donovan is with us this week, or today at least. And Alyssa, you have so many reasons for me to leave my living room today.
I
Can't wait to hear your forecast.
No one should stay inside today. Everyone should get out because it is going to be gorgeous outside. Very much an extension of what we saw this weekend. 52 right now to start, so it's going to feel a little chilly when you step outside, but don't worry, it is going to warm up quickly. What's going on is we have high pressure in control right now. That's giving us clear skies to start. You can see the sunrise out your window right now. Sunshine with us for most of the day. And then we do have this disturbance just off to the east right now. That's going to track in later this afternoon. That will bring us a little bit more cloud coverage for eastern counties later today. Maybe an isolated shower for people who live closest to the Indiana-Ohio border. Most of us, though, are going to be dry with just a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon and early evening. Today, our highs climbing into the upper 70s, so a little bit below average. Usually we're in the mid 80s by this time of year. Low humidity as well. We have those winds out of the northeast. That's helping usher in a little bit cooler air to start our day, but we will warm up quickly with all that sunshine in the forecast, and there is plenty more sunshine as we head through the rest of the week. All of those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. This is over on the west side, I-465 near Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic here is moving along up to speed this morning. Keep in mind this week on the west side, we have eastbound lanes of I-70 still closed throughout the week between Ronald Reagan Parkway and the South Split downtown for a major construction project. So plan accordingly as you're heading out there this morning.
Peaceful protests continued in downtown Indianapolis this weekend. Dozens filled the steps on Monument Circle, maintaining the call for change to the police department.
An alumni chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority organized Sunday's demonstration. They carried signs and walked from the City County building to Monument Circle. Many families participated, fighting for new police policies and a more promising future.
I'm out here marching today because I have 3 black sons and they matter. And I want to see my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. I want to see them live. I want to see them have a successful future. I want them to show the world that they are not a threat.
Protesters also called for transparency in the investigation into Drajon Reed's death. Several pro athletes were part of Sunday's protest downtown. Indiana Fever General Manager Tamika Catchings and head coach Marion Stanley were joined by Fever players Stephanie Mavunga and Natalie Achanwa, with many others at the demonstration. Former Pacers guard and Indy native George Hill was also part of the march on Sunday. He was, as was Butler men's basketball coach Laval Jordan.
The time now is 6:33 here on Good Morning Indiana. The protests that we have seen now for days have been demanding a review of police policies, especially use of force policies. The protests, as you've known, have drawn thousands of people statewide from cities as well as the suburbs. The people involved have been a cross-section of ethnicities and ages. We had a chance to Zoom with the State Police Superintendent, Doug Carter. This morning, the superintendent weighs in on the talk of diverting dollars from police.
There's a call around the country, different quarters, on this issue of defunding or dismantling. And different people have different thoughts on this. it appears that the word defunding means instead of spending so much money on just outfitting officers with the stuff that they need, why don't we divert some of those dollars to some of the services on the very issues that the officers confront? Things like mental health, homelessness, domestic abuse, the social service programs, and that in many cases your officers may not have the training in.
There's a need, certainly a need for us to review and evaluate our training curriculum and what we do and why. And are we adjusting and adapting to time? Are we adjusting and adapting to societal shifts or changes? Are we using the best of technology today that we didn't have before? Are we using the intelligence, community relationships? All of those pieces and parts make us whole. So to defund a police agency in the challenges that we face today is a solution in search of a problem. There's no doubt that money needs to be going to these communities that have no hope. I completely support that. But that's outside of my purview. My purview is protecting people, even at a great sacrifice to ourselves. That's what we'll continue to do. To disband a police agency, it seems to me, is political rhetoric that will create nothing but havoc and chaos in communities that maybe weren't before. So to think that we're going to leave a community, who are you going to call when you call 911? This number's been disconnected? I don't think so. I think that's ridiculous.
So a couple of things this morning. Superintendent Carter is the chairman of the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, and he says talks about improving training have been in the works for months now. Carter says he's not in favor of body cameras because he believes the current technology is not reliable enough, but he is in favor of dash cameras for all state police trooper vehicles.
When you hear the term Black Lives Matter, what does that mean to you?
They're right. They do matter.
My entire conversation with the state's top cop will be posted on our website, theindychannel.com. It includes what he learned recently after meeting with troopers and what he believes every police chief, town marshal, and county sheriff should be doing right now. Meredith?
New protests after the police killing of a black man in Atlanta. Rayshard Brooks was shot in the back as he ran after officers tried to arrest him, claiming he was driving drunk. The police chief in Atlanta has now resigned, and the district attorney says they'll decide within the next few days whether to bring charges. As ABC's Andrea Fujii tells us, the police union is now claiming the mayor has a bias and says the officer involved was fired without due process.
Overnight, demonstrations from coast to coast after another deadly police shooting of a black man. Protesters also gathering at the Wendy's restaurant in Atlanta, where a police officer shot Rayshard Brooks Friday night. The incident all captured on police body and dash cam video, which began after the officers responded to a call that Brooks was allegedly asleep in his car, blocking the drive-thru. Police say he was then given multiple sobriety tests, which they say he failed.
Can you take a preliminary breath test for me? Just yes or no? I don't want to refuse anything.
Police say he resisted arrest, which turned into a struggle, leading to him grabbing an officer's taser. Brooks flees and appears to point the stun gun at the officers while he runs away. Investigators say Officer Garrett Rolfe then fired 3 shots at Brooks, who died at the hospital after surgery. This morning, an autopsy reveals Brooks was shot twice in the back and lists the manner of death as homicide. Protesters hitting the streets over the weekend, setting fire to the Wendy's as the Atlanta police chief stepped down. The police department fired Officer Rolfe and suspended the other officer. This morning, the police union says Officer Rolfe was terminated without due process. According to the district attorney, a decision on whether to file charges is expected by midweek, and he says murder charges are being considered.
Following the facts, we're going to be examining and re-examining the evidence.
I didn't know that I was going to wake up to my husband never coming home.
Brooks' wife says he was not dangerous and calls the shooting a murder.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
It is 6:38. We now want to go to our continuing coverage of the COVID-19 outbreak. After this weekend, Indiana is now reporting nearly 40,000 total cases since the pandemic began. The State Department of Health reporting 17 new deaths Saturday and 9 on Sunday. There were more than 800 new cases confirmed over those 2 days. More than 348,000 people have been tested for the virus so far. 11.5% of those tests are coming back positive. Raphael?
At 6:39, it is another step forward for the city. The city-county building will partially reopen today for criminal court appearances as well as police services. Here are the details. As of now, all other city and county agencies will reopen on June the 22nd. Juvenile courts will reopen July the 6th, while traffic court will continue to operate remotely for the foreseeable future. Entrances on Market, Delaware, and Washington streets will be open with security checkpoints at each. The city will require face coverings for everyone entering the city-county building. Reusable face coverings will be available for people who do not have one. Meredith?
Helping those who are struggling to feed their families. It's a big problem in Indiana right now, and we have a way you can help. Next, how rounding up when you shop for groceries can make a big difference this week. We'll be right back.
Get rallies delivered.
Welcome back. So all this week, RTV6 is teaming up with Kroger and Second Helpings to raise money and feed Indiana families. Our partnership just got underway this morning.
And I'm ready to donate, Lauren, so let's go. I'm going to go shopping and give some money. But this morning, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live from one of the donation locations. And Kelsey, have they seen an increase in demand?
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So we're at Second Helpings this morning, and you can see here in this last month, so the month of May, more than 200,000 meals were prepared and delivered to Hoosier families. And they tell me normally they average about 80 to 90,000 meals a month. So that is obviously a huge increase. And we're here this morning at Second Helpings here in the kitchen where work has already started to begin. And of course, we just told you that we are partnering now with Second Helpings and Kroger. And all you have to do is round up your order when you check out, or you can add your own amount of money at checkout. And I'm here this morning with the CEO. So where do these donations go? How do these help you guys?
Well, it only costs $1.20 a meal for Second Helpings to rescue food, prepare it, and deliver it to people in need. So that roundup that someone does at the cash register, the donation they make, is going to make a huge difference across the area. These meals are going to go out today. About 6,000 meals will leave this kitchen alone today. And those meals will go to people throughout our area. Think about seniors who are homebound during this pandemic. We'll have people who may be in a shelter. They go to the Julian Center. They go to Wheeler Mission. They go to Indy Parks, where families who really are hungry and still need food can go pick up a meal for their child, but also a meal that they can take home and share as a family that evening.
Yeah, awesome. A very important cause and a very easy thing to do this week is donate at Kroger. And also RTV6 and the Scripps Howard Foundation, we're going to match whatever is donated this week up to $12,000. So if you head out to a Kroger today, you can, of course, round up or add your own donation, or you can head over to the indychannel.com/feeding Hoosiers to learn more. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Another recall of ground beef, and this one may affect you. Next, where that beef was sold and what you should look for inside your fridge or freezer.
Well, it was one of the great unanswered questions of the pandemic. Why did we clean stores out of all their toilet paper? Coming up, a scientific reason as to why we were hoarding. Alyssa.
And we are going to see a warming trend this week. Upper 70s today, 90s by the weekend. I'll have all those details coming up next. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Safe in-store shopping and curbside pickup.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:47. It is Monday morning, so here's a live look at traffic to our northwest. I-65, a view near Lafayette Road, where traffic is moving along just fine, as you can see. No crashes to report around the metro area at this hour.
We have a recall alert for you this morning. A New Jersey meat processing company is recalling nearly 43,000 pounds of ground beef sold at Walmart stores around the country. There's concern about possible E. coli contamination. The affected products were produced on June 1st and sold under the Thomas Foods International and Market market-side butcher labels. Customers should either throw away the meat or return the packages. For more information, you can call the Lakeside Processing Call Center at 856-832-3881. It was one of the most puzzling things about the COVID-19 pandemic. Why did it become so hard to find that one bathroom essential?
Yeah, it was pretty annoying too when you're looking for cleaning products and hand sanitizer. We know those to this day sometimes are still a rare find, but toilet paper and the shortage, it didn't make quite as much sense.
Well, leave it to science to flush out the answers. Researchers plunged into the data from the U.S. and all across Europe. They found that people with conscientious personalities were more likely to panic buy toilet paper. That means people who are more organized and like to plan ahead. The research also found that panic buying is also very contagious because humans often look to each other for cues on what is safe. They believe this could be what led to the widespread toilet paper demand. So keeping with the theme, just roll with the day today because the weather will be perfect. Alyssa Donovan says so I'm going to believe her.
I was concerned where we were going with that.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, but okay, I'll roll with the day, Raphael, and it's going to be a gorgeous one. We're starting to see that sunrise over downtown Indianapolis right now from our downtown Northview camera. You can see clear skies, a little to start. 52 degrees right now in Indianapolis. Those winds are out of the north-northeast about 7 miles per hour. So light winds, but those clear skies and those northerly winds are why it feels a little chillier to start today than we typically would this time of year. What's going on is we have high pressure in control, which is why we're going to see him most of the day today, but you can see just off to the east of Indiana, we do have that upper level disturbance right there over Ohio right now. That's going to track into Indianapolis as we head into the afternoon and evening, mostly over the eastern portion of Indianapolis and into the eastern portion of our state. So here we are Monday, 7 a.m. You can see sunny skies. By about 3 p.m., we are going to start to see a little bit more cloud coverage, and then we do have a small chance of an isolated shower, especially for areas to extreme eastern counties this afternoon and early evening. Not likely we'll see those showers in Indianapolis, more likely just to the eastern portion of the state, but can't rule out maybe a spot shower or two. Most of us, though, going to see a dry day with just some cloud coverage as we head into the afternoon and early evening. What's going on next is we have that mild air that's been in place, keeping our temperatures close to average and just a little bit below average. That's going to push out, and then we are going to see that high pressure in control throughout the week. We're going to see more warm air settling in from the west. That's going to take our temperatures into the 80s for the rest of the week. So we'll be 85 tomorrow, 89 by Thursday, and then we'll continue that climb as we head into the weekend, reaching the 90s. Today, however, it's going to be a gorgeous day. Temperatures just a little bit below average. Starting in the 50s this morning, we'll see sunny skies through the noon hour and then a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon. Our highs today into the upper 70s. Some areas likely will hit those low 80s as well. Looking at the rest of the week, 85 tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine sticking with us Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, that's when that heat really builds back in. We're back into those low 90s. Then humidity returns Saturday and Sunday. Storm possibilities on Saturday. Looks like those will be later in the day, likely later in the evening and overnight hours, but can't rule out seeing those in the afternoon. Of course, we're continuing to keep an eye on that storm as it progresses. 89 on Sunday. Better chance of storms come Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out there to start your work week. Here's a live look at I-465 and I-69 up on the northeast side where the sun is out and traffic is moving along smoothly. No crashes or delays in this area to slow down your commute.
There have been a lot of creative high school graduations, but this one may have been the highest. We'll show you how one school got its graduates off the ground in a quite unique way. We'll be right back.
The RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Welcome back. It is 6:55. Here's a live look at traffic in this active construction zone, I-65 near Keystone Avenue, south of downtown. Use caution as you're merging and driving through this area, as we do have a big traffic shift here and some reduced lanes on the near south side, so plan ahead. Well, like many schools across our country, seniors and high schools, in this one in New Hampshire, they were faced with the reality of not having that traditional graduation ceremony.
That changed when a ski resort near the school got involved. That ski area decided to give the students a big lift to help them get their diplomas.
You have to see this. So for students at Connett High School, it is now all just downhill from here. Check this out. This is the Cranmore Mountain Ski Resort in Conway, New Hampshire. They did this for their seniors. They let each student have 4 guests join them for a free 10-minute ride on a chairlift to the summit of that mountain. And that's where the students each received their diplomas. That's really unique. I like that.
And I saw on Twitter, I didn't click the link, another high school, I'm assuming maybe it's in Florida or somewhere, they had their students do their graduation on jet skis.
Oh.
So keeping with the ski
All of this is way cooler than my high school's gym.
This sounds great.
We may never see a traditional graduation
Though I'm going to
ceremony
give
again.
the major props goes to Speedway High School, who had theirs at the Motor Speedway.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
Our graduation
love that.
locally was really the best of the country. So,
yeah, we do it big here.
We did best.
Very creative.
Yeah, we do it big.
All right, Alyssa, what can we expect as we head out the door this Monday?
You know what? Today would be a great day for an outdoor graduation. We are seeing those temperatures a little bit below average. Starting a little cool this morning in the 50s. We'll be into the upper 70s this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies, low humidity. So that's the good news. As we look ahead to the rest of the week, 80s as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday into the 90s. Humidity returns Saturday and Sunday with some chances of storms possible late Saturday and throughout the day on Sunday.
All right, Alyssa, we are back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with all your news, weather, and traffic updates.
And remember, all your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. Get out there and enjoy this beautiful weather. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana.